Hi there, my name is Renik Fernandez, and today I will be teaching you about credit scores and how to build them. I like to think of credit scores like trust. How do you gain trust from people? How do you lose trust in people? When you do lose trust, it may take longer to gain it back. Imagine me, a complete stranger, walking up to you in the middle of the street and asking you to borrow $100. Would you react like the person on the right or like the person on the left? I think most of us would react like the person on the right. In order to know how to build that credit or build that trust, it is important to understand the 5 factors that go into a credit score, which are payment history, amounts owed, credit length, types of credit, or new credit. So you might be wondering, if I'm a new borrower, where do I start? How do I build that trust? The key thing is to start small. You don't just walk up to someone and say, "You trust me now." You want to start small. And what that means is maybe by asking to borrow small amounts of cash. Small loans. You might ask for $200. You could even ask for $300. You wouldn't go into a bank and ask to borrow $450,000 for the first time so you could buy a Rolls Royce. They might pull up no credit history and laugh at you. So it is important to start small, small amounts of cash. A key product to look at is credit cards. Credit cards are the best way to start building credit, and it is also recommended to keep at least 3 to 4 on hand in your credit history. Credit cards basically are guaranteed funds by the bank, and you're able to use it up to the limit. Every end of month, you get a statement and you get a balance. You pay the minimum amount due, and you're in good standing. If you pay the full balance, you pay no interest. I like the second option. When you do make these payments on time, the bank will report your payment history to the credit bureaus. That will help you start building your credit. They want to see how much they can trust you with low amounts. A good rule of thumb is to use your credit limit and equal it to the amount that's in your checking account. Don't use more than what you can already afford. But then you might be wondering, if I already have money in my checking account, why do I need a credit card? Well, that's actually the key to building good credit. Borrow the money now when you know you can pay for it, and then later when you don't have money to pay for it, and you go to a bank to borrow, they can trust you more. For example, when you buy a house or a car, most of us need to borrow some amounts of money. How is the bank to know how much to charge you? How much they can trust you with such a big with sum of money? That's why it is important to start building your credit. Most banks, when all banks, when you come to them to ask them to borrow money, they will look at your credit report first. That's the key important factor that lets them know that you can actually buy that product. What if you have excessive debt though? You've already had credit history, but now you have a lot of bad debt that's just sitting and ruining your score. Well, there's ways to get around that as well. First off, if you have bad credit, this might be your credit report. Your mental image of your credit might look like this picture, and it makes sense that you don't feel like fixing it. But there's ways to help you, and that's called consolidation loans. When you consolidate your bad debt into one lump sum and ask for the bank for a consolidation loan, you only make one monthly payment every month. It gives you a nice, clean mental space. A rule of thumb, however, is that you've organized everything here to the left side of the screen, but you also want to know that once you've cleared up all your outstanding debt, you may have those credit cards open again. So you may want to use them responsibly. Recap. So you build credit by making payments on time. You rebuild credit by organizing your debt into one monthly payment. And best practice is to not add to that already accumulated debt. Banks want to know that they can trust you when it comes to borrowing money from them. So in order to do that, you have to build your credit score. And only when you do build little amounts of trust, in the end, will the banks trust you with big amounts like mortgages and car loans. I hope you've enjoyed this small little lesson, and I hope that you are able to use it to build your own credit. Thank you, and have a great day.